So if you live in the United States right now, you understand that we're going through a job market disaster, a fucking crisis. But I'm about to expose everyone. So starting with if you're a hiring manager or you're in hiring practices, fuck you. And secondly, I'm exposing companies and the games that they're playing from personal experience.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
It's JEJE vibe.
People out there in the beautiful planet, in this beautiful world of ours. Welcome to JEJE vibe. Hope you all are doing amazing today.
We are.
Come my queen with me. Things are happening.
Martin Zagwan.
Martin Sagwan. And at a time like this, it's where you know how to start thinking. What is going on?
Let's talk about the current job market. The job market in 2024, yo, is so bad to the point, bro, you gotta jump through so many hoops just to get an interview, bro. I had lost my job like a couple weeks ago, so like I was just applying to any job that would freaking give me an interview, that would even say anything to me. In my field, not in my field. I was just like, bro, like I just need a job. This one company writes back and they schedule an interview with me on Zoom at like 10 o'clock, like on a Tuesday. So I put that stuff on, I'm looking presentable, I'm on Zoom at like 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm just waiting. Nobody showed up. Fast forward to like 4 o'clock, the same day in the afternoon, I get a freaking call and it's the guy from the company. He's like, bro, you weren't on Zoom, we didn't see you. I was like, I didn't see y'all either. So he sends me another link to another Zoom meeting. So I tap the link, I get on there, it's literally a scam. All the job wants me to do is literally just pick up the phone and call people all day. Basically customer service, but no base pay. It's like sale oriented. You got to sell some BS over the phone. And like, once I figured out like what it was, I left the Zoom meeting. At this point, I'm like 100 applications deep into this journey of trying to find a new job.
Is anyone else sick and tired of this job market that we're currently in?
Of course we're tired. I've applied to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of jobs at this point. I haven't found one job that asked for 10 years of experience for an entry-level job. So when I filtered out and they asked me how much experience do I have, I told them I have 99. I have 99 years of experience and I project managed for Noah's Ark. And you know what? I heard back from them. Are people serious that they would consider 99 years of experience? I should be retired. I should be dead, maybe. And that's what it takes to get a response back from employers?
So I got my bachelor's degree in business administration and still haven't landed an entry-level job with it. Now before you come for my head and say, oh, your degree's worthless, it's a piece of shit, hold on a second, jeez. I graduated school 3 years ago. And my junior and senior years were during the peak of COVID, where really no companies were offering internships of any kind. So I was working full-time at my grocery store job that I had held for about 6 or 7 years, all throughout high school and college, because I needed to pay my bills. I needed to have some sort of income, right? And I applied to these entry-level sales and marketing roles, and I just get shunned down or turned away because I don't have any experience. But yet I have 6 full-time years of work experience, and all of these people who are older than me and have work experience, 5-10 years or whatever, are the ones who are getting looked at into these entry-level roles, and the fresh college graduates are not.
Hi, I need a job and I see you're hiring. Yeah, do you have any experience? Oh no, I just graduated. Sorry, can't help you. What do you mean? You need experience. But I need a job to get experience. No, you need experience to get a job. That's why I'm here. We have jobs here, not experience. Then where do I get the experience? Go work and you'll get it. How much experience do I need? 10 years. This is an entry-level position, right? Yes, you may enter after working for 10 years. I'm 19 years old. Was I meant to be working since I was...
Not only are the tech layoffs affecting the people that already work there, we're now starting to see that they're affecting people that haven't even started yet. And in the last video I made about Amazon, I had a lot of comments along the lines of, oh, they worked at Amazon, Meta, Twitter, they'll be fine. Not only is this incredibly insensitive, this is also incredibly naive to think that all thousands of these people will be able to just quickly turn around and find a new job. And now it's going to impact all of these recent graduates because now they're competing against some of the most highly sought after talent right now in this industry.
An unpopular opinion is I think we should stop telling people that going to college is going to make their future better, because I just spent the last 4 years in college and I'm having the hardest time finding a fucking job in my industry. Like, it literally makes me want to cry because things just keep not working out. Like, I went to school and got a bachelor's degree in consumer apparel and retail studies with a focus in apparel and product design. And literally, like, unless I move, this degree is useless. And, like, if I move, then I'm away from my family, bro. I got a whole family. I got a kid. I can't move away from my parents, like different states. Like, this shit just be pissing me off. Like, no one's hiring. I've applied to so many jobs out of state. Even I'm not hearing back from anyone besides Belch. Belch tells me no all the fucking time. I apply for a job every day at Belch, a different one, because that's the only apparel headquarters in Charlotte. I'm just stressed. Go to trade school. Don't waste your fucking money. Like, I'm about to have to start paying fucking student loans. About to have to start paying that back. But I can't even get a job. So please tell me, like, what am I supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? I'm being so humbled by looking for service jobs in the 2024 job market. I'm currently having trouble finding work in the major I studied in college, so I've been applying to a ton of service jobs. I feel like no matter what the job is, they all want you to have a bachelor's degree, 1 to 3 years experience, and the pay is like $20 to $22 an hour. I also just got rejected from Whole Foods too, which is rough. I have experience working at a grocery store and my availability was pretty open, so maybe I somehow just scream red flags. But anyways, I just wanted to share my thoughts in case anyone else feels like they're getting humbled, and cheers to hoping to find a job so I can stay in San Francisco.
So I graduated this past December with a bachelor's degree, and I still don't have a job. I've updated my resume, I reached out to recruiters, I got a couple referrals, and I still don't have a job. I would say I've applied to over 1,000 roles, and yeah. I did have a couple interviews, but the companies just end up ghosting me. I don't know why. Is the job market really that bad for new grads? I don't know.
The job market in 2024 is absolutely brutal, and finally, the numbers are backing this up. I've been talking about this for months, but all the job seekers that I'm talking to that are going for corporate positions are finding it extremely tough on the job market. People are now having to apply to hundreds, if not thousands of jobs before they even hear back from a few opportunities. This is impacting particularly those who are in their 20s. So these are people who have newly graduated. There is less demand for those with bachelor's degrees in those corporate roles.
There are an extremely high number of people right now, for the first time in their lives, are dealing with career crisis. They're in their 30s, 40s. They've never had a problem getting a job. They've been able to get the jobs they wanted. They probably part of the great quit, jumped jobs, got a much higher pay, and are now struggling to find a new job and are really upset about it, saying it's not fair. I used to be able to get any job interview I wanted. Now there's too much competition. I'm a perfect fit for jobs. Recruiters and hiring managers aren't contacting me back on LinkedIn. None of my techniques are working. It's not fair, JT. And it's hard because if you look at it in their career life cycle, they've never been through one of these. Most of them were so much younger in the 2008 recession that they didn't have these problems. You know, they were in entry-level jobs, so they didn't understand what people were complaining about that were older than them saying these things. But now it's their turn. They're now seeing how much harder it is, and it's scary and it's frustrating. And maybe that feels like you. I'm sure you can relate.
And that's a sad reality of the job market in 2024. You have to apply to hundreds of jobs to receive one interview, and these companies are saying that they're urgently hiring. And the worst part about this is that people are getting laid off, which are pushing people back that have been unemployed for a long time.
Looking for a job in 2024 is the most demoralizing thing for your spirit. There should be no way that people are applying to 100, 200, 300, 400 jobs and getting a total of 1 or 2 interviews. And it's crazy too, because not even low paying jobs are hiring right now. I remember 2 or 3 weeks ago, I went to a job fair, right? And I introduced myself, right? And she goes on to tell me, right? This job fair is supposedly a hiring hall, right? There were people interviewing, throughout the event. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I go up to her table and she says, oh, we're not hiring, just apply online. Why are you even here? Mind you, she didn't even talk about any of the programs her company has. She didn't talk about internship opportunities, none of that, right? Like no paperwork, nothing. I was like, are you serious? Like, I feel like you're just wasting my time at this point.
Job hunting is just as bad as dating these days. Allow me to set the scene. You apply for a job and hear nothing, but the ad stays online for months, and when you follow up, the company tells you they're not really hiring. What's actually going on? Companies are feeling budgetary constraints and some are scaling back on hiring, but many businesses are keeping job postings up even if they're not actively working to fill those roles. Some are keeping the ads up to give the impression the company's growing, some are trying to placate overworked current employees, and others are just stockpiling a pool of ready applicants for the future.
More than half of workers are considering leaving their job this year, and that's more than the Great Resignation, which is fascinating because this is the year where there's so many people getting laid off. I get messages all the time saying, can you help me get a job? Which did not happen a year ago or 2 years ago. And so huge amount of pressure on the workforce, but people are still very unhappy because they're burned out. They are, being driven to work so many additional hours than usual, and they're not getting paid more, and there's hiring freezes, and it's taking forever to even get a job, but they're still willing to look to get another job despite all the consequences of doing so.
Y'all, I know the job market is rough, but I don't think it's this rough. This position operates on a 980 schedule. You work 8 9-hour days and 1 8-hour, resulting in 1 day off every other week. And y'all know they ain't supposed to pay.
Hey everybody, those of you that are looking for a job, it's really tough to get a job right now. In every profession, not just mine of graphic design, but I saw this today and I thought those of you, especially who are in graphic design like I am, would be amused to see this listing. So just to preface this, we know that there are a lot of fake listings around. For whatever reason, there are fake listings, unfortunately. And this may be one of them, but I just wanted to point this out because this is something that I've seen a lot, especially in graphic design. First of all, they're requiring a portfolio. You will not be considered without a portfolio, and that's pretty standard in the industry. It always has been. But what is pretty new is we want to see a portfolio, and we would like you to also do a project for us for free. Now, I did this when I first started my search. I was reluctant, but I had done that for a few companies. They want me to do an assignment. Sure, I can do that, no problem. But there is a very specific reason why I won't do that anymore. And this company in particular goes a little too far, in my opinion. A 4 to 6 non-paid working interview will be part of the hiring process. What does that mean? Well, that means that they want you to go to their location and work. Now, I don't know if this means 4 to 6 hours of non-paid work, or if it means you're going to be working 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., but essentially you're at least going to be doing 2 to 6 hours of work for them for free just to be considered for this position. That is ridiculous. And I'm going to tell you now, show you actually why I will never do this for another company again. So there was a company that I applied for. They wanted anybody who got chosen to do an assignment for them. It's like a one-page flyer. And they gave you all of the stuff that you needed, any graphics, logos, all of that you needed for the flyer. They just wanted everybody to do a flyer and send that flyer to a specific email. I did that assignment sent the email out to the person that they said, but not only that, I sent the email out to the person they asked me to send it to. I also CC'd the person that contacted me with the information, the person from HR, so that they know that I sent out the flyer to the correct person. And a few days later, I get this in my email. We regret to inform you that you will not be considered further in the selection process for the position due to your failure to participate in the submission of artwork for evaluation as an interview component of our recruitment process. What? I sent you the flyer. How did I fail to send, like, this doesn't make sense to me. And at the time I got this, I was busy doing something else, so I couldn't respond right away, but I didn't have to, because apparently somebody else who also did a flyer responded to them, and maybe several people, because in about 5 minutes after I got this, I received a second. The second email said, it has been brought to our attention that some of you did in fact submit your artwork and erroneously were coded as you did not. However, you were not selected to move forward in the process, and this error doesn't change your disposition in this recruitment. I apologize for this error. Like, I'm sorry. You told me to move forward to do an assignment. Then you sent me an email saying, I'm sorry, you're not moving forward because you didn't do the assignment. And then when it was pointed out to you, like, yes, we all did the assignment and you still didn't choose us. And you're saying you didn't choose us because we didn't do the assignment. But now you're saying, like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're still not moving forward. Sorry. Like, no, I'm no longer working for free for a company just to get a job, and then finding out later, like, no, sorry, we're still not giving you that job. Companies and recruiters out there, do better. Oh, but also a 4 to 6 hour non-paid, no, don't do this, no.
Guys, you need to watch out. There are a lot of fake jobs being posted. Let me explain. I just got this message from a recruiter friend of mine. They said, Joel, you won't believe this. 2 days ago, I had a conversation with one of my contacts at a large Fortune 500 company. They had 1,500 job postings advertised on LinkedIn, several in cybersecurity. So I was pitching them a candidate MPC. MPC is a most placeable candidate. This is a sales technique that a lot of recruiters use. The person told me that they were on a hiring freeze for the past month, and all of the projects were on hold for the foreseeable future. I was shocked. They have 1,500 fake jobs posted. Can you believe that? Then they ask, I wonder how many other companies are doing this and what percentage of the job postings aren't even real. Guys, this is a reason why when I see news articles talking about how many job postings there are, I disregard it. It's also the reason that you need to apply to a lot of jobs, because you don't know if a company actually has just a hiring freeze going on, but they're still posting jobs. The next question is, like, why would companies do this? Well, a lot of companies look at it as pipelining or just gathering data. So if they have openings like this one in the future, they have lots of contact information to get out. So if you're applying to these jobs, there's a good chance that you won't hear anything back. But then maybe when those openings open back up, in reality, then they'll reach out to you. I'm not a fan of this practice, but it happens. The other thing they could be doing is just trying to have a perception that they're doing well in the marketplace. That happens as well. Either way, you've been warned.
Here's everything you need to know about ghost hiring. This is when employers post a job. I'm talking they post a job 6 to 12 months out, collect hundreds of resumes, never seem to fill the position. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Employers use this tactic to collect hundreds and thousands of resumes so that they can create a database that they can use to benchmark employees internally. This basically means that they collect hundreds and thousands of resumes to feed their internal AI systems. This is because employers want to evaluate their internal candidates against the external ones. It's just another sleazy way that employers gain competitive advantage. But that's why sometimes you see a job that's posted, never gets filled, and is reposted because they're collecting more and more resumes.
The 2024 job market is absolutely brutal. You have to fill out hundreds, if not thousands of applications to just get a few callbacks. And then when you do get a callback, you're likely going to go through a 4, 5, 6, even 7-stage interview process. In between each round of interviews, you'll probably get ghosted by the recruiter and the hiring manager. And then you'll get an invitation to the next round of interviews. One of those rounds will be a panel interview, which is basically where the executives gather around, judge you, and interrogate you. And then, of course, let's not leave out the assessments. You'll probably get a psychometric assessment, personality assessment, probably even a cognitive assessment. And then if you get through all that, you'll get to wait anxiously for about a month while they basically weigh up which of the 10 candidates they're going to go with. And then you'll get a low ball offer. And you'll think, we talked about salary 4 months ago when I started the process. This is way lower than what I talked about. To which they'll say, hey, take it or leave it. We've got 9 other people that are just as interested and qualified as you. That is the reality of the 2024 job market.
The United States job market is fucking cooked. For reference, in the past few months, I've applied to 1,400 jobs on LinkedIn alone. And I've applied to hundreds of jobs on Indeed, hundreds of jobs on the company's direct website, and I've gone around in person to around 100 jobs, giving out my resume and having interviews that way. And I'm here to tell you from firsthand experience, it's all a sham. It's a disaster. Hiring managers aren't doing their job, and companies are posting ghost jobs. Oh, not to mention, super profitable companies such as Google are now laying off employees, although they're having record-breaking profits. All well, boomers and people that don't understand on the outside that have a no touch with reality go, oh, you're just not working hard enough. Or people going, get a job in retail. Look, some of these jobs are minimum wage. The worst part about it all is how discouraging it's become. It's almost like I want to accept defeat, but I'm not going to. But I'll go so many times through 3, 4, even 5 rounds of interviews just for them to tell me that I'm not the right candidate for them, and then they'll repost the job. They're saying we're urgently hiring. It's a load of shit. It's a lie.
So far, I'm 1,600 job applications in, and once I post this video, I'm going to go apply for another few hundred. And this is what's going on. So first and foremost, these companies are saying that they're urgently hiring, but yet they're rejecting everyone, and then they're reposting the job that they're urgently hiring for like a month or 2 later. What's up with that? Genuinely, there's been theories and comments that I've had saying that it's because companies are getting paid to do this, that they're profiting from it. I don't understand how, but just a theory. But my question is why? And second, another thing I'm going to expose is what these companies are doing is they're sending you through, I've been through, I can't even begin to tell you the amount of times where they'll have you for an initial interview. So I passed the first round, right? Passed the second round, passed the third round. I'm like 2 weeks in to a company, like in their interview process. I'm at like interview number 4. And then they just go, yeah, sorry, no. Or they don't even get back to me at all. I shit you not. There have been multiple companies where I'm going to like the 4th round of interviews, and then they just never get back to me ever again. I'm like, what the hell, right? So out of the 1,600 jobs I've applied to, I've had 1 salary job offer that was around $41,000 a year to sell phones in Costco. I rejected that job offer. I turned that down. And I've been offered 3 1099 positions, which means I don't get paid hourly or salary. I just get paid on if I can make a sale. The other thousands of jobs that I've applied to, I've either been rejected or been played with through the interview process or just never heard back from. So it's fucking crazy.
Somebody please explain to me how I can apply for 100 jobs and not get a single call back. That was a question brought up in a live the other day, and unfortunately, just like Tinder, you're getting ghosted. That's right, the same companies that are complaining that nobody wants to work, we can't find help, we're so short-staffed, we're in an employment crisis, are the same ones that have these ghost positions. What's a ghost job? Well, it's a job that a company will post that they have no intentions of filling. But why would they do that? Well, a Harvard study asked 1,000 hiring managers the exact same question, and this is what they said. The biggest reasons that was stated was because of the rise of employees that are leaving their jobs after the pandemic, companies want to gauge how quickly they would be able to replace somebody if they needed to. They also use ghost jobs to gauge their pay scale and what kind of applicant will apply for this. For example, if a job normally pays $100,000, but they have a whole bunch of applicants applying for it at $60,000, well, that's no longer a $100,000 job according to the company. Some other fun facts that came from this study: only 50% of companies are actually looking for new people. 3% of these companies have no intention of hiring for these jobs, but want to give the perception that the company is always growing. 43% also said they want to have applicants on standby for disciplinary measures or in case someone quits. But 1 in 5 managers polled in this study admitted that they have no plans of actually hiring for these positions that are posted. Yes, there is an employment crisis, but it really has nothing to do with you or your qualifications.
Ghost jobs, which are basically jobs that don't exist. There's been a lot of rumors around whether or not companies are actually posting these jobs to look like they're doing better than they are. And I don't know about that, but I do know that there is a practice called pipelining that definitely exists. I don't know how many internal teams are doing this, but there's a decent amount of recruitment agencies that are posting jobs so they can get applications and candidates that might be a fit, not because they have an open job, but because one day they will have open jobs, and the more candidate information they have, in their mind, the easier it will be to reach out to someone. Now, my personal opinion is that practice doesn't make any sense, because just because I apply to a job now doesn't mean that in 6 months I'm still going to be interested.
There is a concerning trend emerging in the job market. It is tied to something called ghost job postings. According to this Forbes study, 9.6 million jobs were posted in September 2023 in the US, and only 2% of them were filled by October 2023. This means that in a shocking number of instances, when we apply to a job, we are completely wasting our time. Forbes went on to state that 50% of hiring managers are posting these jobs to create an active talent pool for if they ever do need to hire, which in my opinion is extremely selfish. Other people are posting jobs when they're not hiring to give the illusion that their company is growing, which is extremely immoral.
There's nothing more painful than seeing a job posting get reposted after you already interviewed for and were ghosted by the same position. It just happened to me, and it ruined my day, because I'm the kind of bitch who, unless you stomp on my dream and absolutely decimate it, I will be clinging to a little bit of false hope. For this job, I had done 4 rounds, so we were deep in the process, and I think that was it. Like, the next step would have been an offer. In that last round, 2 weeks ago, and I'm not an idiot, it rarely takes that long to give someone an offer after the last interview. But this company had been so responsive after every round, like great communication from the recruiter, so I was expecting to hear something good or bad. And in some ways I did hear, because today I'm scrolling LinkedIn and what's that? Reposted 15 hours ago, the same fucking job.
This is why you've been applying to jobs and not getting a response, is because a lot of companies are posting fake jobs. Because one, they want to show the people who are being overworked at work that they're busy looking for other people. Like, we're looking for candidates, so just keep working. We're trying to find someone else. They want to give the impression to the market that the company is growing when it's not. And lastly, it's because they want to have a very good pool of potential candidates that they will contact in case a job opening, just to expand on their pool of possible candidates. But they're not exactly hiring at the moment.
So why would companies do this? Why would companies be so cruel? They do it to keep their current employees motivated, or to scare them into thinking that they are easily replaceable. They get massive tax benefits for having unfulfilled positions, even if those positions are secretly not even intentionally going to ever be filled, just for those tax purposes. They have it just to have an active pool of applicants, because why not? And to keep the impression that the company is growing, to essentially scam their shareholders into thinking that the company's doing great.
Well, this is a new one to me. Have you guys heard about ghost job postings? Apparently it's when a company has a posting either LinkedIn, one of the job boards, but with no intent of actually filling that position. I was curious how big of a problem this actually was, and there was a study, I'll show the headline here, that 70% or just short of 70% of hiring managers admitted to having job postings open longer than actually when they were going to fill them. So ghost job posting, the title makes sense. I always thought that this was just because the companies were lazy or inefficient, didn't know when to take them down, may not be an active posting. But the fact is, it's actually intentional.
These companies are saying that they're urgently hiring, but yet they're
Actually, no, they're not rejecting everyone. They're simply not hiring.
I hate to tell you this, but these jobs don't exist. I'm a tech recruiter, and I get ghosted by my company and other agencies we work for and positions we try to fill 90% of the time. I'll have people get first round, second round, third round interviews, even to the point where, yeah, they're going to figure out the financials and send them a job offer. That doesn't happen. There is no offer. All they do is they're trying to make it look like they're busy, and it looks like they're hiring. And then for whatever reason, at the end of the road, oh, it doesn't work out. I am literally being told now to don't worry about what hires I get, just worry about hitting my numbers. So that means all they care about is me submitting resumes, and that's it. There's definitely something political going on that they're not disclosing on why they are doing this to begin with, but yeah, it's a load of bullshit. Unless you're a rock star and you agree to get underpaid 20 grand, you're not getting an offer.
My times. Drop a comment, let us know what you guys think about the video. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and you're welcome to JEJE Vibe.
We're out of here now.
Catch you in the next one.
Bye-bye now.
See you guys.
It's JEJE Vibe. It's JEJE Vibe. It's JEJE Vibe, 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 vibe. It's JEJE Vibe.